What's going on, guys? My name is Brennan Johns and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going ahead and taking you guys through some of my photos from the 2021 astrophotography season. Looking forward to 2022, but basically this year I built a observatory in my backyard, so it's made a whole difference in my astrophotography journey. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and hop on into some photos, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a quick view of my observatory. And basically, this isn't actually the most current photo of the observatory. As you can see, grass is green, and it was snowed outside last night. So yeah, definitely not the most current. A little bit of siding work that wasn't done at the time of this photo, and some roof work. But yeah, here it is. It houses my 10-inch RC telescope on a CEM 120 mount. But I will be doing an observatory tour here in the near future. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on into some photos from this year. Well, it started out at the beginning of the year, and my first light on my telescope setup, that was with M31 here. I didn't have too much exposure time on this image itself, but I really like the star colors as well as some of the details in the dust lane. See a nebula towards the top left-hand corner there, but yeah, you can see the collimation was not great. So after that, I did go ahead and work through some of those collimation problems using the DSI method. I actually haven't used any laser collimating tools for this telescope, and it's honestly done fine for me so far. So let's go ahead and hop on to the next photo, and that will be M33. I'm kind of going to go in chronological order based on how I did this year. So this is M33, and all of these were taking on the 10-inch RC at about 2,000 millimeters with a ASI 294 monochrome camera. So it's a micro four thirds sensor. So my image scale is very, very small. So obviously seeing issues can harm the images. And that's why in the last month I've actually moved over to a reducer on my telescope. So it makes it faster, helps my image scale out a little bit. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's see here. M15. So here is the Great Pegasus cluster. This is when I was starting to work out some of my collimation problems. Still not perfect. On my first image of this one, I actually struggled a lot with my color calibration, but I've found that sometimes post-processing is the biggest struggle on a lot of these images. So definitely a big learning curve for me, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results of this one. Maybe a little bit warm, but anyways, let's move on to the next one. Let's see, NGC 7331. So this one, I'm not 100% happy with the colors on it, but I am pretty happy with the results. You can see lots of faint galaxies in the background. And this is when I was trying to go through and do full processing with PixInsight, something that I've kind of been learning along the way. But I actually reverted back to going to Photoshop mostly 100% for all my processing currently. So, and also Topaz denoise, because that is a very powerful software for noise reduction on some of these images. So you can see NGC 7331 in the middle there, and a few other galaxies surrounding that. So pretty cool target. But moving on to, let's see, let's go with M82. So M82, I'm really happy with this one. Obviously, I think my stacking was a little off. As you can see, the stars are a little bit oblong, but I was really happy to get the nice hydrogen alpha jets in the center of the galaxy. But you could still use some work. I actually shot this one, I believe, pretty low on the horizon. I think it was around 20 degrees altitude. So it is what it is, and I'm pretty happy with it for my first attempt at the cigar galaxy. Let's go to its neighbor here, M81. So this one is my third attempt on this this target. The first night I actually got some moisture on my my secondary mirror, and it really ruined my shots. So color calibration could be better. That's something I think my biggest struggle right now going forward. But as you can see, I'm pretty happy with the results. Got a lot of, you can see the dust lanes in the center of the galaxy. Galaxies are my favorite target, so I'm definitely going, with a longer focal length telescope. That's definitely what I'm hoping to capture here in the future. So, but yeah. So let's stay on the galaxies for one more shot here. So I haven't actually shot color yet here for NGC 660, but the Polar Ring Galaxy, very cool shape on this galaxy. You can see the brightness in the core, pretty cool. I particularly like at the 4 to 5 o'clock hour, there's a spiral galaxy out there that's pretty neat to look at, but I'm not sure the name on it. But there's a lot of background galaxies in this shot, which are really cool to take a look at. Let's move on to some nebulas. And the most popular nebula of the night sky, Orion Nebula. Here's my shot of the Orion Nebula. The stars aren't perfect, but I was really happy to be able to capture the trapezium inside there. And yeah, so this one, I was really happy with all the colors I pulled out of it. I don't know, I think this is probably about 4 hours of exposure time, but could use more. But being such a bright object, it's a pretty easy target to shoot with a longer, shorter exposure time. So really happy with how that one turned out. And let's go to the Running Man Nebula Ngc 1977. So here, I love this picture just because I love the diffraction spikes. And you can kind of see that I just love the whole texture of this image. And but overall, not a whole lot to say about it. I'm just really happy with the results of this one. Let's see. And then let's go to my moon mosaic here. This one is my best moon image so far. I actually took, I think, 14 panels with the ASI 174 camera, monochrome camera, and then I stitched them together in Photoshop and did all my post-processing there, and really happy with the results of that one. I love this one. If you look at the full resolution image of this one on like AstroBin or online, you can kind of see a lot of really nice details in the surface. So I printed this one off on metal, and that will be hanging up behind the desk here in the next week or so. I used to use my 80mm refractor as my guide telescope, but since moving to off-axis guiding, I actually invested in this Daystar Quark solar filter, so I can actually take pictures of the chromosphere, photosphere, and the prominence of the sun. So here's the image of active region 2916, I believe, and you can kind of see the magnetic lines there, which is really cool to see. I will say, when you shoot at such a high f-stop, like I think it's right around f30 or so, you do see a lot more dust. So in a future video, I'm going to actually take apart the 80mm refractor and clean it, because it is really dusty on the inside, on the primary, the front lens. So that's my first image of the sun, and here's another image. You can kind of see on the top right there's a little bit of a sunspot there with the prominence sticking out, and then you can also see a filament across the center, which is really cool to see. And then here's one more shot of the same region from a different angle. You can kind of see that sticking out there of that sunspot there. But definitely going to get more into sun photography. I was actually going to take it out today and shoot with it, but it is about 0 degrees outside Fahrenheit, so definitely not going to be a good day for that. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a quick run through of my 2021 astrophotography. This is the first year I've really pursued astrophotography pretty seriously. I actually got my first telescope last fall, so really made a lot of improvements, I think. And coming from landscape 100%, storm chasing, I decided to move mostly into astrophotography just because it's nice and close to home, shooting from a Bortle 5 backyard, but it's nice to be able to have my telescope all set up, just go outside, plug it in, and shoot. So anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping out, and have a great 2022.